It might just be time for Juraj Slafkovsky to dominate the hockey world once again. I wanted to take a blast to the past and revisit what the current Montreal Canadiens first overall pick was able to do back in 2022, when Slafkovsky was a 17-year-old suiting up for Team Slovakia at the 2022 Winter Olympic Games, because you might not remember just how that 2022 draft season went. Everybody thought Shane Wright was going to go first overall. But during the World Championships and during the Olympic Games, you had this big Slovak winger stepping up to the plate and dominating on the score sheet. A 17-year-old Juraj Slafkovsky in his draft-eligible season was able to score himself 7 goals in 7 Olympic Games. He had 0 assists, but still, he had gone out there and dominated the tournament as one of the most effective goal scorers. And then at the World Championships for Team Slovakia, Slafkovsky had scored 9 points in 8 games played. He had more assists than goals at the World, so he was a little bit more diverse. But if you take a look at the point production out of these tournaments, you will really start to remember just where Juraj Slafkovsky was by comparison. At the Olympic Games that season, Slafkovsky was tied for first in the tournament in points and was a runaway for first in the tournament in goals. At the World Championships, Slafkovsky was not one of the top guys in terms of overall points, but he was top 15. This all being as a draft-eligible player, obviously increasing his draft stock. Juraj back in these tournaments showcased a Mikko Rantanen-esque level of goal scoring and offensive control. The power, the physicality, the puck protection. These were all things that we saw more out of Slafkovsky at the World Championships and the Olympics than we had seen in his regular league play with TPS Turku. It's why the Montreal Canadiens decided to select Slafkovsky first overall over Shane Wright, and it's a decision that I think nobody is regretting at this stage. No disrespect to Shane Wright, but still. You take a look at some of the other numbers over here. Slafkovsky was having a particularly rough draft-eligible season in the Finnish Liga. He only had 10 points in 31 games played, and for a guy that was supposed to be a first overall player, that's not really the most ideal number. Now, sure, Slafkovsky did go out there and start scoring more in the playoffs. He had 7 points in 18 TPS Liga games, but it was really those international tournaments that put Slafkovsky on the map and had a lot more excitement going for fans who wanted to see this guy be taken first overall. Also, the fact that Simon Nemec went second overall to New Jersey, it really bolstered how Slovakia won that 2022 draft. Not to mention Filip Mesar, who also was a top player in that year's selection of guys. Juraj Slafkovsky nowadays is absolutely unlocked. He's got 35 points in 44 games, on pace for 65 points and 30 goals throughout a full 82-game season. And when you look at his recent game log, you'll see that Slafkovsky has gone out there with numerous multi-point games throughout the past week and a bit. He has been scoring points like crazy. He is all the way up there at 15 points in his last 10 games. We are finally starting to see Slafkovsky get unleashed. But now, at the Olympics, this is where things may take another turn. Because the Olympics went out there and posted a video themselves, how at 21 years old, you have Juraj Slafkovsky as one of hockey's rising stars. His second Olympic ice hockey appearance, going out there and following up his Beijing 2022 tournament MVP status all the way back when. Take a look at the write-up over here. The Beijing 2022 tournament MVP was picked first overall in the 2022 draft by the Montreal Canadiens, and he will be aiming to help Slovakia's return to the podium at Milano Cortina 2026. And this video showcases Slafkovsky. We celebrated. It was a big achievement for our small country. He started on the 4th line, but then he started to play hard, play his game. In the first game, he did get a couple of goals, and that's where his confidence started to go up. This is Slafkovsky truly in a coming out party. All started at the Olympic Games back in 2022. Heck, he was wearing the full cage. He was an underage junior player, so I think that's the rule. But nevertheless, Juraj Slafkovsky heading back over to the Olympic Games is going to be in for a much bigger task, more responsibility, and hopefully more points. Team Slovakia revealed their roster, and Slafkovsky is indeed included on it. I'm not really too sure just how dominant he'll be able to be compared to the previous tournament, not because he is a worse player, but because now there are other NHL stars suiting up in the tourney, which makes it a lot more difficult for anybody, really, to go out there and do their thing. Slovakia ended up coming in third place at the 2022 Winter Olympic Games for men's ice hockey. Slafkovsky was, of course, a part of that team. And then if you take a look at the other games that they had played, they ended up losing to Finland. They beat Sweden in the bronze medal game. They had some wins over the US, over Germany, over Austria. Who knows if Slafkovsky is going to be able to pull out the big dubs against teams like the Americans or the Swedes again. It's going to be particularly difficult with this version of the American team, despite the lack of Jason Robertson. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How many points is Juraj Slafkovsky going to be able to produce this season at the Olympic Games? And based off of his role, based off of the expectations, based off of the quality of the competition, do you think a goal per game dominating performance is possible like it was back when? I feel like there's a mentality shift with the way Slafkovsky has played as of late. On this second line with Demidov and Kapanen, you see him starting to take the initiative more. He's not afraid to start plays up himself, and he's not afraid to hold on to the puck a little bit longer. This gives him opportunities to display those skills that he has, the shot, the playmaking, the poise, and of course the puck protection with his big solid 6'4" frame. These are qualities that I don't really think we saw much out of Slafkovsky when he was playing with Suzuki and Caulfield. There was a little bit of a tentativeness to the way he would facilitate play, and his game style was more so of just doing that, facilitating play. Slafkovsky almost played like the connecting tool between whatever it is Suzuki and Caulfield wanted to do. He would be on the boards, he would receive the puck, he'd pass it to one of those other two guys and just kind of move around and wait for the puck to come back to him. Now, with Demidov and Kapanen, Slafkovsky is activating. That's the biggest change we have seen out of his game from the past few weeks up until now. And this is the same sort of mentality that he had at the Olympic Games when he was dominating and when he was scoring all those points. Olympics, World Championships, Slafkovsky was a beast. And I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments. How well is he going to do this year at the Olympic Games? Does he get 7 goals in 7 games again? Does he have a more difficult time because of the quality of competition? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.